4.7 billion views. Gone in a single week. This past January, YouTube ran the biggest crackdown it has ever done on AI channels, and 16 of them vanished at once. Between them, 35 million subscribers and an estimated $9.8 million a year in ad revenue switched off overnight. And here's the bit that should make every creator sit up. YouTube did not do this because those channels used artificial intelligence. It did it because of one specific thing they all had in common, a thing you could be doing right now without realizing your whole channel is at risk. Stay with me, because by the end you'll be able to check yourself for it in about 60 seconds.
Hey everyone, Kai here, and before anyone panics and deletes their channel, let me be the calm one. This is not YouTube banning AI. If it were, half the tools you already use would be against the rules. What got wiped was a very specific kind of channel, and honestly, it's avoidable.
Michael jumping in, and I actually went and looked at what those 16 had in common before they went down. Same synthetic voice on every upload, same template. Stock footage sliding past while a robot reads a scraped article. Dozens of uploads a day and not one human thought anywhere in it.
I'm Liam, and this is the image that stuck with me. A creator opening their dashboard to find the channel they spent a year building just gone. No warning that mattered, no appeal that worked. That is the real cost here. It isn't a slap on the wrist. It's the whole thing, all at once.
So say this with me, because it's the whole point. YouTube doesn't punish the tool. It punishes the tool replacing you. If a machine could swap in for you and nobody would notice the difference, that's the channel that gets wiped. If your judgment is the reason the video is worth watching, you're on the safe side of the line.
And that raises the exact thing everyone in the comments is asking right now. People keep saying, will I get demonetized just for using AI in my videos in 2026? The plain answer is no, not for using it. But there is a version of using it that gets you flagged, and that's what we're going to draw out today.
And I'll give you the tool for it up front, so this isn't just doom and gloom. By the end, we've got a 60-second self-audit, 5 quick questions you run on your own channel before you ever hit upload. We even built a free version at grow.professorerica.com, so you can check yourself anytime you want.
So here's where we're headed. First, why YouTube actually did this and what the rule really says. Then the exact patterns that got those channels flagged. And finally, that self-audit, so you never end up on the list. Let's start with the rule itself, because almost everyone gets it backwards. The rule that wiped those channels has a name, and you can read it yourself. In July of 2025, YouTube renamed its old repetitious content policy. The new name tells you everything you need to know: inauthentic content. And this is the actual policy page on YouTube's own help site, not my summary of it. The wording is blunt. Mass-produced or repetitive content, including anything that looks made from a template with little to no variation across videos, or that's easily replicable at scale, is simply not eligible to earn.
And read that last phrase again, because it's the one that bites. Easily replicable at scale. That is YouTube saying, if 1,000 other people could clone your exact channel by tonight, then you haven't really made anything. You've just filled a slot a script could fill.
There's a face behind this too. This is Neil Mohan, YouTube's chief executive. In his January letter to creators, he named cleaning up AI slop a top priority for the year. And he defines slop pretty precisely. Low quality, mass-produced, built to game the algorithm instead of actually serve a viewer.
And this is where most beginners spiral. They hear chief executive priority slop and they assume the takeaway is to stay away from AI entirely. That the safe move is to never touch it. But that is not what YouTube actually said, is it?
It's the opposite, actually, and this is the most important minute in the whole episode. A YouTube spokesperson confirmed the removals were made under the existing spam and deceptive practices rules, not some brand new anti-AI law. The same update says it plainly. Creators are rewarded for original and authentic content. The tool was never the problem. The absence of a human was.
So it's not a witch hunt. It's a spam filter.
It's a spam filter with very good aim, yes. But here's the uncomfortable part, and it's why this matters even if you'd never dream of scraping. Some genuine human creators, people who simply never showed their face on camera, got swept up in the very same net.
Which flips the whole lesson on its head. The move is not to hide that you used AI. The move is to make the human layer so obvious that no filter could ever mistake you for a bot farm. Prove the person is there and you're not collateral damage, you're a creator.
So the rule is clear enough. Templated and replaceable dies. Original and human survives. But that still feels a little abstract. What did the flag channels actually look like step by step? Because once you see the pattern, you can't unsee it in your own drafts.
Let me pause for just a second because this genuinely helps. If you are getting value here, hit that like button, then subscribe and ring the bell. It costs you nothing, and it is the single biggest thing that keeps these videos coming.
Here's what every one of those flagged channels actually looked like, and it's the same 5 steps every single time. Once you see the assembly line, you'll spot it in about 3 seconds in anyone's channel, including your own. Step 1. Scrape a trending topic you have no real take on. Step 2. Run it through a default robot voice, no direction, no tone. Step 3. Drop in a generic stock slideshow, the same exact look on every video. Step 4. Upload it a dozen times a day. And step 5, the loudest one, add 0 commentary. No opinion, no angle, no you anywhere in it.
And notice what step 4 and step 5 do together. The volume spike is the machine screaming, "Look how much I can crank out." And the 0 commentary is that same machine quietly admitting there's nobody home. YouTube spam systems are basically built to smell exactly that combination.
Say the quiet part out loud. This whole thing exists because it feels like a money printer. You set up the pipeline once and it just runs while you sleep. That's the fantasy. And it is exactly the fantasy YouTube decided to switch off.
Picture the person actually running one of these. Call her Priya, a brand new creator who wrote a viral thread about faceless cash and set up a channel that posts 15 videos a day off one template. For a while, the numbers even climb. And then one morning, the entire thing is gone because she built a factory, not a channel.
And to be fair to Priya, not one of those 5 steps is evil on its own. Using AI for a voice is fine. Using stock footage is fine. Even posting often is fine. It's stacking all 5 together with no human judgment anywhere that turns it into the pattern. Any single step, plus your actual angle, is just modern production.
So here's the question everyone is forming right now. Where's the line between just working fast and getting flagged as slop? Because from the beginner seat, those two feel dangerously close together.
My plain answer is it's not about speed at all, it's about subtraction. Take the AI out of the video in your head. If a real idea, a real angle, a real judgment call is still standing there, you're a creator working fast, and that's fine. If nothing is left but the machine, that's the flag. Speed was never the crime. Emptiness was.
That test is so useful, I want to make it something you can actually run, not just nod along to. Because knowing the pattern only helps if you can catch it in your own channel before YouTube does. So let's turn it into a checklist you can run in about a minute. And wait until you see the scariest part. The reason one lazy video can take your best ones down with it.
Before the checklist, one thing has to land, because it's the scariest part and almost nobody warns you about it. This is not a per video risk. It is a channel-wide one. Look at what actually happens. It's not that YouTube quietly demonetizes your 3 worst videos and leaves the rest alone. When the pattern trips the filter, the judgment lands on the whole channel. Every good video you ever made goes down with the 10 lazy ones. That's why this is worth 60 real seconds of your attention.
So put the two channels side by side because the difference is not subtle once you actually see it. On the flagged side, scrape scripts, a default voice, one template, no opinion. On the safe side, your own angle, a voice you actually directed, real editing, a point of view a viewer came back for. Same tools on both sides, totally different outcome.
So here's the actual audit. 5 questions and you answer them if I zoom out about your own channel. 1. Could a stranger clone your whole channel by tonight? 2. Does every video use the same template with no variation? 3. If you deleted the AI, is there a single human idea left? 4. Are you uploading more than you could ever make well? And 5. Is there any real commentary or just narration?
And here's how to score it without lying to yourself. If you flinched on 3 or more of those, you are not banned, but you are drifting toward that pattern, and it's time to change one thing this week. If you pass them cleanly, good, keep going. The audit isn't here to scare you off AI. It's here to keep the channel you're building alive.
And fixing it is not some huge lift. It's usually one habit. Direct the voice instead of accepting the default read. Cut the video down instead of padding it. Add 60 seconds of your own actual take. That editing pass, that judgment, is the entire human layer. It is the cheapest insurance you will ever buy for your channel.
One more check, and it's boring but real. Keep your channel clean of active strikes. Eligibility isn't only the slop rule. A live copyright or community strike freezes the whole thing too. So the fix is almost aggressively simple. Bring a human angle, direct your tools, and don't rack up strikes.
Now I'll push on our own advice for a second because I don't want to sell a fairy tale. If your whole goal is maximum volume for minimum effort, this audit is going to feel like it's slowing you down, and it is. That path can spike fast. It just doesn't last, and it can drag your good work down with it. If you genuinely can't add a human layer to a topic, the honest move is don't make that video, not automate it anyway.
That's the honest tension, and it's exactly what we should argue out. Because there's a real debate the Crackdown left open. Is this fair to the small creator just trying to get started? And if it is, how do you actually survive it? Let's put it to the table. So here's the argument the Crackdown actually left on the table. Is this fair to the little guy? Kay thinks the rule is basically a gift, that it clears out the spam and rewards the people doing real work. Liam thinks it quietly punishes beginners who can't compete with big budgets. I'll hold them to the receipts. Kay, start us off.
It's the best thing that has happened to small creators in years, and I'll tell you exactly why. Before this, you were drowning. 10,000 clone channels flooding every niche, burying anyone doing honest work. YouTube just deleted your competition for free. Bring a real angle now and you stand out more than you have in a decade. The bar went up, and that helps the people who actually clear it.
That's a comfortable view from someone who already knows how to make good video. Picture an 18-year-old with no camera, no money, and a laptop. AI was the great equalizer, the one way they could compete with a studio. And now the same tools that leveled the field can get them terminated if they lean too hard on them. We told them to use AI, then punish them for using it too much. That's a moving line, and beginners are the ones who fall off it.
Let me stop you, Kai. Answer that one directly before you counter. If the line between fast and flagged is fuzzy, isn't a nervous beginner going to either over-automate and get wiped or freeze up and quit? How is a fuzzy line fair to them?
It's fair because the line isn't actually fuzzy once you say it plainly. It is not a volume number you can trip over by accident. It's one question. Did you add anything? A beginner with a laptop and a real opinion clears that on video 1. The only person the line traps is the one who wanted to add nothing, and if I zoom out, that was never a business to begin with.
Unless nobody ever told them adding an opinion was the job.
That's fair, and that's the actual gap. It's education, not the policy. Nobody handed beginners the rulebook. But the fix for that is a video exactly like this one, not keeping the spam farms alive to protect the few who didn't know. Teach the human layer, and the line stops being scary.
Okay, I'll give you most of that. If someone knows the rule, it is survivable, easily. My worry is just the ones who never get the memo and pour a year into a factory. But yes, if you're watching this right now, you have the memo, and that genuinely changes everything for you specifically.
So let me try to land this where you two actually agree. Kai, you're saying the rule rewards real work. Liam, you're saying the danger is not knowing the rule exists at all. Those aren't opposite. They're the same sentence.
They really are. Know the rule, and it's the best environment for a real creator in years. Don't know it, and it's a trap. The only variable is whether you understood the line before you built.
So the verdict I'd defend, and the record backs it up. It is fair, with one honest asterisk. YouTube's own policy says it rewards original and authentic content, and it removed those channels under spam rules, not an AI ban. That's fair to anyone who adds a human layer. The asterisk is Liam's. The danger was never the tool. It was nobody teaching beginners where the line sits. So if you take one thing from today, take this. You are not competing with AI. You are competing with everyone who let AI replace them, and that is a race you win by simply showing up as a person. So walk away with this one line and you will never end up on that list. A machine can help you make the video. It just can't be the reason the video exists. Quick recap before we go. In January 2026, YouTube wiped 16 AI channels and 4.7 billion views, but not for using AI. It was for the pattern. Templated, replaceable, no human anywhere in it. Bring a real angle and you are never on that list.
The number I'd keep is the scary one, channel-wide. It is not your worst video that gets hit, it's all of them at once. That's exactly why the 60-second audit is worth running before every single upload.
Do this before you close this tab. Open your last video and ask the one question. If you remove the AI, is there still a human idea in it? If yes, you're safe. If not, you now know exactly what to add. And send this to the friend who just started a faceless channel.
The part nobody advertises. Nobody is going to hand you the rulebook. The line is real but quiet, and the beginners who lose are the ones who never heard it. Now you have. Don't waste that.
Next in the series, we flip this completely around. Not what gets you flagged, but exactly how to get monetized with AI without ever tripping the filter. The whole safe playbook, start to finish.
If this saved you from a mistake that could cost your whole channel, hit like and subscribe, because we're building this entire safe money roadmap, one video at a time. And that free self-audit is waiting for you at grow.professorerica.com.
Here's the one we couldn't fully settle, so tell us down below. Is the crackdown fair to beginners, or did it just move the line on people who were only trying to learn?
Same teacher, brand new lesson next time. Thanks for watching. This is Professor Erica.